saw, dude.
Sup, bro? Oh, dude, I love this song. Jonas Brothers, right? Hell yeah, I miss listening to them. I used to blast their stuff all the time. Hell yeah. But you know who I really miss listening to? My Chemical Romance. Okay, but for real, you know who I actually miss listening to? Who? One Direction.
Can we listen to a different song?
What? Did you not like One Direction? No, quite the opposite, actually. I loved them.
I'm not I'm not kidding. If you remember a little group called One Direction, then you probably remember the crazed fans, the fandom, and all the hype. Yeah, I was a part of it. Woo! I was that girl who ate carrots, didn't use spoons, said "What's happening?" when nothing was happening, thought Nando's was the funniest thing ever, and for the longest time, my favorite joke was, why did the mushroom get invited to the party? Because he was a fun guy. This video today is about how I became internet famous, kind of. And of course it has to do with One Direction. I first learned about the beautiful phenomenon that was One Direction back in 2011. God! I was 13! Instagram had just came out, so it was like the coolest thing ever. I made an account because I was like, I want to be a part of it. Fun fact, my first username was Lady Fruitcake. Yeah. But I told my mom that I made an Instagram and I was like, look, my username is Lady Fruitcake. And she was like, wow, Zoe, that's so you. And I was like, yeah, I know. So when Instagram first started out, I was posting stuff like this. I know it was horrible. After I had the account for a few months, I started to post like just One Direction, and I ended up changing my name as well. I changed it to My Five Angels at first, and then I eventually changed it to Harry's Legs. I'm a creative genius. Sorry. Long story short, I made a lot of internet friends. I became known as a One Direction account. The account actually started to be kind of big, like 130,000 followers big. Basically, it got to the point where girls from my school knew about the account, other people from my city knew about the account, and my parents were like concerned when it got to like 8,000 followers because what? I was like 13 when it got to like 10K. I do have this screenshot of a shout out that someone did when I was at 5,000 followers. When I reached like 8,000 followers, my parents were like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know! And then we never talked about it again. So the account is deleted now, which I will get into later. So I have like little to no proof that the account got as big as it did, but I do have proof that it existed, and that is like right here now. I have like some edits that I made. This is so embarrassing. People make videos online all the time, like going through old One Direction Imagines or One Direction edits. I made some of my own. I'm experiencing physical discomfort. I have a picture that I made of myself with 5 Seconds of Summer. And then I have some really cringy edits that I will post now. I'm so uncomfortable! Hold up. I want to talk about this for a second. What the hell? I photoshopped my face, first of all, and then photoshopped Harry Styles licking my face right next to it. What the hell? Ah! I made this. I made this myself. It feels like someone just like lit my stomach on fire. This is uncomfy. Okay, well, oh Jesus. Okay, yeah. So during this time, I did start to post selfies when I got to a bigger account, like 60,000. And then I don't know whomst, but people made fan pages for me. When other people, like fan pages, made edits for me, that was so sweet and kind, but it's kind of embarrassing looking back now. I was like, I really had like, I had a fan or two. Oh. Okay, these I didn't make. People made these for me. I reported them a few months ago because like when you would search my actual username, currently Zoe Calsyn, those Instagram pages would come up, and it was really embarrassing when friends in college were like, why do you have fan pages for yourself? It's like, I did not make those. I really mean it. I really didn't, but I also really don't want to tell you the story of why they're there, so I reported them. So while I don't have any screenshots of how big my following got on Harry's Legs, I do have a radio interview that I did for the One Direction movie that came out.
Alright, that's the best song ever from One Direction, which we're playing because we're about to review the One Direction movie.
This movie's geared toward tween girls. We are not tween girls. So you know what we did? We brought in 3 tween girls!
That's right.
Hi, tween girls.
Hi.
We have Zoe.
Hi.
So yeah, we got to see the film early, and then I was interviewed about the movie, and I mentioned my account.
Zoe is 15 years old, and Zoe has an Instagram account. How many people are following you on Instagram, your One Direction account?
Right now, 64,000.
That's really so embarrassing. I was like 16. I ran an Instagram account for a British boy band, and that account got over 130,000 followers. And then I was interviewed on the radio and talked about that account to just the entire city. I don't live in a small city. Like, I live in like a fairly big city. Doing your own radio interview at 16 is kind of cool, okay? I think I peaked. Okay, so this is probably my least favorite part of the video. I hate this, but we're still doing it. Okay, so here we go. When I made the One Direction account, I had my personal Instagram page at Zoe Calsyn. And then I made a second one that everyone from the One Direction account could see. And that was called This is important for the story later. The big kicker is about Little Mix. This is a fun part. Okay, so for this, I have legitimately no proof anywhere that this ever happened, but you have to take my word for it. This absolutely happened, and it'll make sense why I have no proof in a second. Little Mix, if you've heard of them, they won X Factor UK in 2011. When Little Mix started making their own music after they won, they had an Instagram account called Little Mix of Fish. I didn't know why they weren't using @LittleMix, so I was like, maybe someone's using it. I searched it up at Little Mix. No one had it. So my genius ass came up with the great idea to make the account @LittleMix. So I was Little Mix. I liked Little Mix, yeah, but not nearly to the extent that I liked One Direction. But I started posting pictures of them with really stupid, like, pointless captions like, "Have a nice day." And then I got a lot of followers really, really fast. And when I looked at the comments, people thought that I was Little Mix. When you're 16 and people just think that you're a famous Brit pop girl group and you rack up 50,000 followers in less than a month, you kind of just go with it. That's actually not what you do at all, but that is what I did. I saw it as kind of like a, I didn't choose this life chose me kind of situation. So I just ran with it. I freaking sprinted. I had notifications on for whenever Little Mix would post to their Facebook. I would leave class to go copy and paste their Facebook captions, post to my Instagram, and then act like nothing was off. People would comment all the time like, I don't think this is a real Little Mix. I didn't delete them or say anything. I was just like, okay. Like, I just went on. I replied to comments that were like, "We love you, Perry." I was like, "I love you too, my sweet." I hate myself for doing this. I got to 2 million followers at one point. I had more followers than the real Little Mix account. I had more followers than Little Mix! What? Of course I like shouted myself out here and there, but in like really subtle, like stupid ways. I would say like, "Thanks to our event coordinator at my secret username for organizing this event for us. Love you lots." And then no one would no one would really question how a 16-year-old girl from America organized an event in UK. I got like 300 followers per shout out, so I only kept that up for like 7 months, and then I was terrified and deleted it. But like, wow! After I deleted the Little Mix account, I still had the Harry's Legs account, but I eventually deleted that as well. When I was 16 and had like 130,000 followers, I didn't really think, oh, they're all from my city. No, I thought that they were all from like elsewhere. So when I switched schools, started dating that girl that I mentioned in my last video, I kind of saw my One Direction page as like an outlet to talk about her because I had these new gay feelings. So I talked about it on my One Direction page. It was kind of like a go figure. And I thought that no one knew who I was talking about because one, I just didn't assume anyone from my city followed me. And then two, I was just talking about her like generally, like I never said her name. I was just describing like how I knew her, how I met her, all that stuff. But she was kind of a big deal at the school that I went to, so the girls that followed me from that school knew who I was talking about. And then I almost accidentally outed her. but then she like ended up coming out anyway, but I felt so bad. So like the second that girls came up to me and were like, hey, I like your page, I didn't know you were dating blah. That first day that someone said that to me, I immediately deleted the account. So it's just gone. It's just completely gone. And that was the end of that era, which is thankfully gone for good. Rest in peace One Direction, but more importantly, rest in peace Harry's legs. I'm so glad that that's over with. I still have people that follow me on my main. Honestly, shout out to you if you are still following me because of One Direction. I would like to give a shout out to Sarah, Jenna, Remy, Anna, another Anna, Lauren, Abby. I met all of those friends from my One Direction page. Yeah, I'd like to thank the internet for the friends that it's given me. That is it for this embarrassing video. I'm sorry I faked as Little Mix, and I'm sorry that I dedicated too much of my life to One Direction, but you know what? I was young and dumb. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment if you wish, subscribe so you can see more of this bad content, so you can pose as me like I did Little Mix. I hope you have a great day. That is all. Thank you. Bye!